Alright,
So
guys.
is tonight an exhibition match or? Alright.
As far as I know, it is. We can ask Sir Dark, though. I think he's here in the channel. We're waiting on the other paramedic to arrive.
We need a medic.
Alright, so Sir Dark.
Doing?
I'm doing well, I'm doing well. Is this an exhibition that you put together?
Yeah, that it is. Basically, the regular season's over. We're trying to wrap up as many of the matches to be done, with playoffs Monday and Tuesday of next week. This will give us a real good feel of two top-level cross-divisional teams that you'll probably likely see in the playoffs.
Okay.
And it
So
is
it's
exhibition.
Now see, Slava, this is called a teaser. Not that thing you did at the end of the quadcast. Alright, folks, let's get the spam going and all that good stuff.
I had to remind myself. So it's when I'm listening to the song, be like, oh, what was I thinking? Oh, yeah.
Okay, first question of the night. What is up with Mesta's ping?
I asked him a moment ago. He said he's downloading. He said not to worry, so I'm not going to worry.
Cool.
DM17, oh yeah.
Wait, I think he was serious. Chris, you really wanted to see DM17, don't you? I'm starting to suspect that you have fond memories for that map for some reason. Like, it's the first map you beat the bots against or something.
Oh no, it was the test, man.
Because you were a rail whore.
It was Q3 test.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in the day.
That too.
Hell of the year. I remember sitting on the server for several hours with one of my roommates at the time, and just doing like practicing mid-air rockets. Got to the point where we'd go on the server and we'd clear it within, I don't know, 2 games.
Back in my day, nobody ever seen an air rocket before. Yeah.
You know what I find really awesome is that, you know, I'm playing QuakeNight now, but you had that same experience like 20 years ago.
Isn't that awesome, though? That is awesome.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
It's many kinds of awesome. Okay, we have all 4 players, and Mesta stopped his download apparently.
Yeah. Wonka is saying that Gildas Bar is born that he's finished downloading. There you go. That's the spirit. Talk about teamwork.
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah. Since it's a bye week, this is going to be a scrim between these 2 teams, Area 51 and Paramedics. And as Sir Dark mentioned a few moments ago, that this is a taste of what the cross-division competition may look like. In my humble opinion, I think Area 51 is in pretty good shape tonight. I think Paramedics can do well, but they're going to need to bring their A game, I would say. Whereas, you know, I think like, you know, Sparks and Gills, they could have like maybe a typical night and still, you know, still get a close game. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. What do you guys think?
Well, Sparks is definitely getting a lot of practice right now. I mean, he's in the ESL stuff right now. He just went down against a Lost Cause, which I was pretty stoked about. But that being said, these are very solid players, and Mesta and Wonko definitely have their work cut out for them. But I am going to take it by faith that this is going to be a great matchup.
Well, you gotta have faith.
I think that, well, I don't know the maps are going to have to pick them, but let's assume that ZTN gets picked. I'm going to say that 51's going to take that for sure.
All right.
I'm gonna say that. Let's see what.
And I think I heard this as far as Paramedic picking DM6.
Okay. So that one's. I think I'm gonna give that one to them. I think since they picked it, I think I'll go with them.
We has
possibly picking
F3s.
up the first map.
Well, 1 F3.
Adrenaline.
2.
Adrenaline's talking some shit, saying that Sparks could beat these guys drunk.
You know what? I think Adren might be speaking from experience.
Yeah. Although, you know, I will say this, you know, another back in the day story is I used to play quite inebriated, and back when in the Quake 1 days, I was in this ego clan, like clean ego. It didn't mean anything, it was just for fun. But I'd go on as drunken ego, and I'd just go running around, and it was pretty surprising how beer definitely gets my aim all relaxed and pretty on. But let's see how these guys go sober. We're going live right now, and we're gonna watch Sparks out of the gate, and he decides to turn back for a plasma.
Sober.
Sober really is no fun.
Well, Wonko did get the first red grab, and here he is in the middle arena. Got some strong damage going out. We do have one frag going to Paramedic right off the bat here, but Wonko's down on the bottom now. 8 seconds to this red armor, and he's looking to secure control over that. So while he's waiting there, we're going to see Sparks over here at the yellow armor. So these guys are at pretty much opposite ends of the map right now, and they're both going to be facing off, but at the moment,
let's talk about this
does
quad
have the
setup here.
advantage.
Talk about the quad setup, because both paramedics now have red armor, and so it's going to be up to them to turn that into some kind of
This was
stat.
good. Gills was on mid-level there, railing down. He was able to get the quad grab, but Wonko stole it right out of his hands on his way up the pipe. So that's going to set them up good to be able to maintain control of this red armor.
But let's talk about that for a second, because at best, Area 51 had, you know, one guy with 50 armor and the other one probably a little bit less than that, whereas both paramedics they each had almost 100 armor, and they did not win in that particular exchange. So if you just talk about
Right, and that came down
amount
to
of damage,
positioning.
yeah, but well, that and just the sheer amount of damage.
Gills was just
that,
up on top of mid-level and just...
yeah. So paramedics are going to need to figure out how to triage that particular strategy in order to secure more quad damage. Otherwise, they're going to be in for a long night.
Well, long is definitely going to be relative, because right now Wonko is looking to make a speedy exit here. Only 23 health. He's going to be grabbing a 25 before going up towards the red. He's not going for it right away because he knows that he's down there with that rail, but it's going to be a good grab. Taking one rail there. But then we have quad coming up here in about 45 seconds. And this is all just going to be about setting up, getting a good position, and getting a good stack for making the attack on the quad.
And I really don't understand Wonko's teammate's choice to jump out into two guys there. That was sort of an odd one. He threw away his life and whatever armor he had left. Wonko, though, is holding down this red for his teammate. Quite frankly, if I were Wonko, I would take this myself. The reason why is because you want to be set up for this next quad, and the way it is right now, 60 armor, I don't know. It could be risky. Let's go take a look at Area 51 as they set up for this. They're going to try to get this next red before quad comes up. It's coming up at the same time. Sparks is in no shape to really do much. Gills has just died. So actually this is looking really good. Sparks is going to need to survive against Wonko. Gills about to die.
Well,
Let's see, Wonko's lost his armor.
The fact that they were both spawning at the same time, yeah, the fact that they were spawning at the same time was pretty much going to split these two players up, which just let Paramedic come in, get an easy grab, and get a first frag right off the bat. And it looks like Wonko's going to be able to secure some more damage here. And now they're going to run the map, run some of these spawns, and get quite a few frags to their name here.
This is risky. Oh, Wonko, you should have been looking for that shot. So now, when he faces off against the next Area 51 guy, it's going to be a pummel.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
He does get the kill, but he kills himself. So 11-6. Wonko gets the better spawn, though, able to recover that weapon. Nice shotgun, close range.
So, if you were implying this before, even if Paramedics has the item control, are you thinking that Area 51 has a little bit better grasp on positioning and maybe even aim? Is that going to even things up a bit?
I think that Area 51 have slightly better duelers, but right now it looks like Paramedics, they're doing a little bit better job of item control. Because we're watching Mesta, and he's pretty much a fresh spawn. But if we take a look, see who's going to get this next red, it's going to be his teammate. So yeah, like I said, Paramedics so far doing a little bit better on the item control. And Mesta's looking to cover that yellow. So this should be a double up. This will be their frag, and they're going to get both of them.